Marks. I'm Christmas Kurt, Chief Artificial Christmas Tree Farmer at Easy Treezy, the world's easiest Christmas tree. Now, I know it's Christmas, but where are all the decorations for the tank? Mark, did you forget to put up the tree again?
Always.
Maybe all we need is a little Christmas magic. Does anybody know any elves? Oh, there they are, the Easy Treezy elves. I bet they can help. Let's turn this tank into a holiday masterpiece. Easy Treezy was invented to solve the headaches of putting up an artificial Christmas tree. Our trees are extremely light and go up extremely quickly all by yourself. Our memory wire, patent-pending cone technology features an industry-first electromagnetic lighting system. Securely snaps together and instantly illuminates the lights.
Wow.
Now, let's talk decorating. We have a designer collection that ships completely decorated, right out of the box, all the ornaments attached. Sets up in under a minute, and you are done with your Christmas tree. Love to decorate with those cherished ornaments you've collected over a lifetime? No problem. Easy Treezy has a natural collection that allows you to decorate the trees any way you like, and what's best is once you attach the ornaments, you can actually store them attached so that next year they're ready to go.
Wow.
Now, what's the worst part about the holidays? When they're over, and we have to take everything down. Lucky for us, with Easy Treezy, it goes down as fast as it went up and conveniently stores hung in closets, under beds, or laid on shelves thanks to our lay flat technology.
Wow.
Now, our tank looks like a cozy holiday home, and I haven't even had enough time to tell you how much money I want. So about that, I'm looking for $400,000 for 10% of my company to help put an Easy Treezy in every living room across America. Now, we put out some hot cocoa for you. It's a special cocoa to help loosen up your wallets.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of wows going on there. This is a great idea. It kind of funny that nobody else has kind of thought of that before. Like, why don't we make these trees enabled to be, collapsible and a much easier process? I mean, I remember back in the day before they had like the ones that would like ours like fold up, they would have ones that you had to it painstakingly put every single branch in all the way up the pole. And I remember doing that, and I remember not loving it as a kid. So it's, having ones that at least all you have to do is just kind of fluff it out is pretty awesome. And this seems great. I'm curious to see what kind of sales and what they sell for. If it's more expensive than a traditional tree, well, I guess we'll find out. But we'll also see is his Kurt's website, social media, and their web, some other links, as well as we will check out one of your comments from down below at the end of this video. So make sure you stay around for that. And Kurt, I'd love to have you come on the show for an interview and talk about your Shark Tank experience.
What does this tree sell for right there?
This one will sell for $779. A
Whoa.
tree like this that's undecorated will be our lower price point at $599, and then...
Barbara, you had an investment in this space.
Yes.
Is that a lot for a tree?
Well, the modern Christmas tree that's been selling so well, really, so that's a good report card for you. They sell for roughly $600 to $800. Vastly different, opposite, very modern. These are traditional. It's a different customer base, I'm sure.
It is.
Well, the value here is the simplicity, right? The fact that it takes no time to set it up, takes no time to tear it down. The question is, where can I buy it at 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve?
So we're in big box retail. We are in a store called At Home. It's 210 locations across the U.S.
Nice.
So getting back to the price point, our trees in At Home are actually retailing for $299.
Smaller tree, smaller?
Same size tree, but different quality of tips, different quantity of lights. What we can do here, and we've started to work with other big box retailers on, is we can take a price point people want to hit, and we can engineer a tree to fit
right, you
that
can
price point.
customize
But
it.
the reason,
Yes.
what are your margins on that at $299?
So we have about a 35% margin to them right now. We will drive that margin up slightly with volume.
Kurt, tell us about yourself.
Well, that's a little tough. 35%, drive it up a little bit. Drive it up to 40%. Definitely makes it tough. You got to sell an awful lot to offset that hit that you're going to take there. And if you got to take returns from those retailers, that is not good. Now, I tend to think that on Christmas trees, they wouldn't. They would probably just lower the price to blow it out so they don't have to do a return to get their money, at least some kind of, money back on the, or ROI on it. So I think that's, so I'm curious as to how much of that business is 210. Of that 200, of the 210 stores is how much is their business?
I got to know how you came up with this.
I'm from Wisconsin originally, very rural town, so we had forests right behind our house, and when Christmas came, we'd go out and chop down a Christmas tree. And I just always loved the Christmas holiday. It was very important to me. A lot from my mom. She ended up getting a disease called scleroderma when I was in high school, and I got to watch her, unfortunately, kind of deteriorate, and she eventually passed away in 2009.
Sorry.
So, the holidays were so special to her that she couldn't any longer go out and cut down that Christmas tree and haul it in and do the whole live thing. So one of the things is how do I make a Christmas tree that a single person can put up? Because regular Christmas trees are very, very heavy. This was always in my head, is how do I fix this problem?
Tell us about your sales.
2018, we did $605,000. This year, we're projected to do $2.2 million.
Wow.
So
All
if
right.
you're only selling in the 210 stores for $299 each, what percentage of your sales are there, and what other platforms are you selling on?
That percentage of business is about 15% of our business.
Just 15%?
Is the retail, yes. We do a big business through Amazon, as everyone knows. It's kind of the beast. And then we do have a great direct-to-consumer through our own website.
What percentage is direct to consumer?
About 50%.
Okay, so how much money have you raised? How much have you put in yourself?
A lot.
And how much debt do you have?
All right, before he gets to that answer, it's so important to diversify where the money is coming in from. And you're in a situation where you're selling to retailers, you're selling to through Amazon, you're selling through your website. It's really important to keep that, because you could be like, hey, we're in 1,000 stores in Walmart. Awesome. All of a sudden Walmart decides, yeah, we got this other competitor. They sell it cheaper. We're going to move away from working with you. And then next thing you know, you got nothing, right? If they're 85% of your business. So you want to make sure that you're staying as diversified as possible, so you don't have just one customer just walk away and that's the end of your business.
No debt, but I'm all in, man. I'm all in.
Sure sounds like it.
So you've raised no outside money.
I haven't raised any money.
How much have you put
I've
in?
self-funded about 500.
That's hard money to put into any business.
Wow.
It's meaningful.
I tell my sister, sometimes I feel like, I'm at the casino table on blackjack, and the dealer's showing the 6, and you've got the 11 here.
And you got to double down,
And
right?
I've taken I got my
you gotta
shoes on the
double
table,
down.
the watches out there, everything's there.
All right. Let me push a couple of buttons here on price. I'm in this space with a deal called Geek My Tree.
Yes.
We provided the lighting for a lot of manufacturers.
Yes.
And I learned all the price points.
Yes.
Selling a tree for over $200 is really hard.
Yes.
So I'm
Really?
assuming these $600 trees that you're selling, premium market, direct to customer.
Yes.
No retailer's going to touch that.
No.
So how is it that you think you can get to 2.2
But that's the
million?
whole purpose of the design, right?
So last year was really data collection. So we learned what the customer is, who the customer is, how they interact with the website.
Were you doing Facebook ads, Instagram ads?
We tested Instagram. Instagram and Facebook were okay. Google performed the best.
So how much are you going to spend on digital advertising for this season?
We have budgeted about $120,000.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Okay, so that's difficult. That's a difficult amount of money to spend when you're talking about making 2.2 million or projecting 2.2 million. Because you want to be reinvesting, and when they say that's it, there's a good reason for that. When you're talking about 35% profit, you don't have the money to pay, to just go and spend as much as you would like to, or probably need to get it to scale. And that's why you need those profit margins. It's not about being greedy. It's about making sure that you have the money to be able to keep the engine, the wheels greased and things moving in the right direction. And in the case of this, he's gonna hit a wall, right? So one of the things that you can do is, when you're going direct to customer, and he talks about collecting data on those customers, and by knowing that customer and knowing that customer base, it's so it just makes it so much easier for you to go and advertise right to that specific person, rather than just being another tree in a whole host of trees that are being sold at the big box retailer. And in this case, you really need to be able to demonstrate this in store, which is kind of tough unless you're got people and they're building the tree, taking the tree down. One of the things with the presentation, though, the pitch, they had 3 elves per tree, which isn't bad, but I would have liked to see like how can like one person set this up, right? What does it look like for that person? Or maybe even have a person that's like, futzing around with the traditional, even like the one that folds down and then you're doing the branches and stuff. The only other thing I would say is I'm not a fan of the thinner trees, but I do think that there's a huge market, especially for these like $779 trees, these $800 trees, in the commercial market, right? Like these, big corporations that want to have like a small forest of Christmas trees or a small display of Christmas trees all together and like lobbies and stuff. Like I could definitely see an opportunity there to have something that's easier to break down, easier to set up, and doesn't necessarily require bringing in a crane or a what's that thing called? Like a lift for you to be able to get up and down the tree and set it all up.
I want to tell you something. I'm actually related to Scrooge. He's my uncle. And I tell you what's going to happen here. You are going to be very disappointed in how few you sell at that price above $299. Nobody is going to pay you $700 for this tree. It's not going to happen. I hate this business. I'm out.
Thank you,
But other
Kevin.
than that,
What a
Scrooge, how
grumpy
was Christmas?
guy.
Good on you, Kurt, to be able to laugh that off. He is all in. He has spent an enormous amount of money to make this happen, and good for you, Kurt, to be able to say, yeah, you know what? It's easier for you to say that, Mr. Wonderful. It's not that his advice is bad. It's not that he's not wrong, but I think if you, again, go that commercial route, I think there's a big market there for you.
Who does your digital advertising for you right now?
We have a contractor that does it down out of
To me,
Florida.
that's the problem. Your whole business is dependent on your best skill being your digital advertising abilities.
Well, if I can, so we presented this tree to Home Depot in early 2018. We were actually invited to their PLR in China. They gave us a verbal commitment for 70,000 units, which came in right around like $8.5 million.
Woo!
You didn't think it was relevant to tell us?
I was getting there. I got a lot of questions. So we had the verbal commitment. So what happened is at that point, the mold was very expensive to make. What we presented to them was actually like a handmade sample because we were still trying to get that developed. So they look at that and then they don't have the confidence that we can ship 70,000 units. But now I have data that I can go back to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot,
but still, Kurt,
Menards.
what I'm saying is the most.
Yeah, but they have data too. And so, Kurt, like, while you've spent $500,000 here, what I wonder is, and this is, hindsight's 2020, obviously, and I don't mean to be Captain Hindsight here, but what I wonder is when it came time for that mold, that might have been the time where maybe we need to sell some equity in the company or do, get some kind of cash in so we could get this mold so we could go to market with this. And yeah, that's unfortunate. The other thing I didn't mention earlier was about the labor costs of putting up trees and stuff like that, especially in the commercial side. Well, it would be a commercial side with labor costs, but point being is that you could potentially save a ton of money on putting up these trees for displays. So it's an opportunity there as well.
The profitable part and the greatest upside of your business is what you sell direct to consumer. The key to being successful there is being a great digital marketer. I didn't get a sense of confidence that you really have that under control. So for those reasons, I'm out.
It is
curious about
important.
a couple of things. You mentioned that you had a problem with Home Depot. Did you go back to that store and resell them again after you solved the problem?
Well, we've been in contact with them throughout. We still stay in touch and give them updates.
Sounds like a relative you don't really want to see.
We want to see them, but we want to see them when we're
But
right.
still, this is what's bothering me. You had an $8 million order that you let lie there a while.
We'll get them back. Don't worry. We'll get them
$8
back.
million. I pay a lot of attention to $8 million. I'm out.
Oh, that's tough. I felt like Barbara probably was the person to go, could have made this happen. But and that, look, that's one of the things that happens. Like, these companies, they're seeing lots of different people. Like, they're gonna have other opportunities come down the pike, different technologies, different things are gonna happen. And staying in contact is nice and good, but like maybe at a certain point it was not, it's time to, like, I need to go and sell some equity, or I need to go maybe start a Kickstarter so I could get the money for these molds that I need. So do something, right? I get that you're $500,000 into it, and that is a very significant amount of money, right? I know I talk about 100,000 maybe not being a super amount of money in the grand scheme of things. 500,000 is a pretty healthy chunk of cash. So to be able to to go and try to sell 400,000 for 10%, it doesn't seem like there's really enough there to warrant a $4 million valuation as of right now. And to Mark's point about knowing your business, you need to know your business. If you're going to be in the online space, start a website, get WordPress, get Shopify, get Kartra, something, and learn it. Do not put out for somebody else to do it, because you will be trapped always paying and paying and paying and hoping that you're getting the best results rather than you being in control of your own destiny.
Listen, your price point is too high. I don't think it's the right deal for me, so I'm sorry, I'm out.
Okay then, Robert, what are you going to do?
Kurt, I love the business. Aesthetically, I think it's beautiful. And I love the reason you started the company, because I think it has a deeply personal meaning to you. But to me, this business is worth about $1 million. Really? For me to give you $400,000, I would need to own 40% of it. I don't think you, with your shiny hat, are going to entertain that.
I mean, $1 million valuation is...
It's a gamble. You're in a very...
Is that an official offer, by the way?
Looking like it might be.
You need to own 40% of it. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. You're in a very...
Is that an official offer, by the way?
I mean, if you're willing to entertain that offer, I'm certainly willing to make it.
Wow.
400,000 for 40%.
So, I mean, I understand the risk that you're facing. Certainly anything in life is unpredictable, except for death and taxes. Would you be at all flexible to come down on the percentage to say, 20% for $400,000? I mean, that's giving me a $2 million valuation.
Kurt, I think you're learning a lot, and I think Mark made the point. I wish you had more digital marketing expertise, but you're learning that. You'll get there. No one's born great at something. You learn it along the way.
Well, it's better to hire experts than to do everything yourself. We want to make sure that we get the absolute best person to do the digital.
When you start a business, you got to be an expert at what makes your business grow and sell. But the reality of the situation is, I am the only shark that's left.
I know.
Especially when when 50% of your sales are coming out of your online business, it's so critical. Like look, you're already giving up on $299. You're giving up a ton of potential. Well, I guess on the retailer side, it's 35% markup, I assume. But you need every percentage point you can get, especially to compensate for those big box retailers that are eating up your profit margin. So I very much think that he 100% Robert's right. You need to be in control of destiny, like I said earlier. If you're going to do an online business, learn online business.
Kirk, what are you going to do?
Do what's right for you.
I would be willing to do the deal at 25%.
I wouldn't. It's how I see the deal and how I've equated and baked in the risk. 400,000 for 40%.
I can't accept that offer. I said my best.
Good for you for sticking to your guns.
Is 20,
yeah, you don't have to give everything away.
I can respect that. I still hate you, but I can respect that.
Congratulations,
Listen,
Kurt.
good luck.
Good luck.
It's a nice tree. It was a clever idea.
Good luck.
Thank you all. Take care.
Bye. Good luck.
I wish we would have landed a deal, but life goes on, and Easy Treezy will evolve and live, and again, we'll be in every house in America at some point.
I thought it's pretty.
You have to like a skinny tree. Oh my God, Robert.
No, Robert in here.
You break it, you buy it, Robert.
Oh God, Robert, why, man? Why do you gotta always be Roberting out there? Dude's nice enough to come out there, and you're breaking his stuff up. That's terrible. All right, so we're gonna go over to the website. Kurt, I would love for you to reach out down in the comments and come on the show. We got the artificial tree. I love seeing faces. I love seeing video. It looks like they have gone the route of the traditional lighting versus the system, like having, I guess, contact points to light up the tree. My concern with that is what happens like when whole strands of bulbs go out. Like nobody wants to be changing that out, and that's a pretty expensive opportunity, tree to have to go and do that for. Maybe fiber optics is the way to go, but I don't know. Not everybody likes that look. So I think it looks nice. I think if you like a skinny tree, I think in a separate room or like a foyer or something like that, I could totally see $398 for a 7.5 foot decorated tree, gold metallic. Like that's awesome. Point set of 500. I mean, it's nice. The on sale price is nice. It's the not on sale price that I just couldn't, I couldn't see paying. But let's check out social media. So we got 2,800 followers on Facebook, but at least we got some recent posts, but not a lot of engagement. It can be very hard to get engaging with the tree, but I would like to see, more with people. It looks like, this one got some engagement that has, shows the locking mechanism, create a cone. I like how they put, that's not their, they have like a desk or a tabletop tree, but that doesn't look like that one there. What do we got? I like seeing faces, people putting it together, that kind of stuff. Let's go to Instagram. We got 2,900 followers. They are posting pretty, last 9 hours. Good to see. Not too much engagement, which is disappointing to see. Overall, it's tough. It's not easy getting engagement in social media. So he mentioned Amazon, but when I went to Amazon, I couldn't find any easy Treezy Christmas trees anymore. So I'm not sure what happened there. If they decided to take themselves down off of Amazon or what. But I did find them on Target, $399, $399, $199 for a 7.5 foot pre-lit tree, sold and shipped by Spreetail, a Target Plus partner. So they have, and this one is only $129 and it's pre-decorated, pre-lit. Like that's, that's interesting. Now there are 2.5 star reviews, but no actual review there, which is a shame to see, because I'd like to know why is it not like the best thing ever? And then over on Walmart, they have similar types of offerings, $399. I think $399 for a pre-decorated tree that you can easily put up and down makes a lot of sense. So anyway, I wanted to reach out below, like Javaro, I hope I said your name right. Inspiring reviews. Also, the fact that open-minded about each product being offered is amazing. Ding, ding. I greatly appreciate you watching and making it all the way to the end. I hope you like this new format I'm trying out. Let me know in the comments down below if you love it or hate it. Anyway, I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care.